So try the last two. For Are You Sleeping, you notice it says play each line twice. Saves me some writing. So that has no new numbers, except you see on the bottom line, the 5 has a line under it. You could play the regular 5 we just learned, or you could learn the low 5. That's what the line underneath means. So it turns out that on most of the guitar strings, if this G string was 1, then the next lower string is low 5. So I didn't give you a sticker for that, but low 5 would just be the next unlabeled string open.
Oh.
So it would sound like 1, 5, 1, 1, low 5, 1. And that works on most of the strings. You always have a low 5 beneath whatever string you're on. They're both open strings. 1 is your open G string, and low 5 is your open D string.
Oh, it's up from 1. Gotcha.
Okay, let's try Are You Sleeping? So you play 1, 2, 3, 1 twice. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5. Twice. 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, 5, 4. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. Again, 5, 6, 5, 4. 3, 1. And 1, low 5, 1. Great. And then the last one, it goes right up the scale, so it's a good scale practice song. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, almost right up. High 1. So high 1 is going to be this one up here. There's 3 of those in a row, then 3 5s, 3 3s, 1 1 1, and 5 4 3 2 1.
What's the one with?
The one with the line over it is the high one.
Oh, yeah, right.
Up on your high E string. That's another G note. G, high G. Okay, let's try that from the beginning. Ready, go. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 3 high ones. Straight across from 5 on the E string. There's your high one.
Oh.
And then back to the 5, straight across. 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, open. And 1s are open. 1, 1, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the last 2 songs, besides being regular kid songs, are rounds. And a round only has 1 chord. So since we're playing the G scale, the chord that goes with it is the G chord. And we learned the G chord last week. We learned an easy and a hard version. Depends on how flexible your fingers are. The easy version is take your ring finger and play that note that was high 1. And strum the 4 highest strings. That's easy G. So we could sing row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Or are you sleeping, brother John, brother Class-2 kids, we would have some kids doing the chord and some kids playing the melody. And then if we get really fancy, we get a bass guitar kid. And then at the end of the class, they had a 10-week class, and at the end of the class, they got on a bass and so a lead and a chord guitar, and Natch recorded their performance. What they do, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Right, Mr. Tambourine.
But kids are great because their parents make them practice, and they actually, by the end of 10 weeks, were quite good. Anyway, also last week we had the song with G. I didn't hand this out to you. This is the words to the Bad to the Bone song, and it also has a picture of the riff that we did. A riff is just like a little lead line or pattern that happens somewhere in the song. And in Bad to the Bone it goes da 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 da. 4, 5, 6, 7, da 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 da. 2, 3, 5, 6.
7.
About that often. And you can see there's a picture of your G string, and it says G is 1, but it doesn't have the same numbers as we just numbered your guitar. And that's because the riffs are in another scale. This is the major scale, and they're in what's called the blues scale, or the pentatonic scale. But you'll see there are these 2 little dots here. That's where the 2 dots are on your guitar, this dot and this dot. So this would be the note 4 and the note 3 in this picture. So use these dots to guide. Yeah. On the G string. So you would play the riff, first your open G, and then the second dot, first dot, and open again. This is on the DVD, but let's just go through it at our own speed, and we're gonna try and sing it. And you don't play that riff all the time. In between, you play the G chord. On the day I was born. Da 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 da. Now look at the words. Da 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 da. Not until you get to Bad to the Bone do we do the riff. Let me get my stand so I can sing words with you.
There you go, Angel. This is the one that you give them because it's a C and a G. You can do the simple C
All
chord
right.
as well.
I like that one.
Yeah, and it's all written out with the notes as well, and it's on 2 pages, and it doesn't do the complicated chord. It only has a D chord.
Okay.
Anyway, there's 4 more of them.
Thank you.
Should I give them up?
Sure. Take this one home for homework.
Thank you.
Because we're
It's
gonna.
2 pages. Sure.
And the first page is what we already played, and the second page it goes on a little further than we did today. We're also going to learn these little boxes are that say C and G. Those are the chords. So I'm going to teach you the C chord today, and then we'll be able to play the chords for that. But we won't be able to play the chords for that.
All except the
C
D
and G.
chord, and the D only comes up once.
And the G.
Except we're playing it in G, and they wrote it in C, so we have to change the chords.
Okay, C and G, doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're doing Bad to the Bone now, right?
We're doing Bad to the Bone real quick. So start by strumming that G chord. On the day I was born, all the nurses gathered round, and they gazed in wide wonder at the joy that they had found. The head nurse spoke up. She said, "Leave this one alone." She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. the bone. Bad, bad. Bad. Bad to the bone. Go back to your chord. I broke 1,000 hearts before I met you. I'll break 1,000 more, baby, before I'm through. I want to be yours, baby. I want to be yours alone. And I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Da 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 da. Bad, da 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 da. Bad. Bad to the bone. And then go back to your G chord. Make a rich woman beg. Make a good woman cry. Make an old woman blush. Make a young woman squeal. Wanna be yours, pretty baby. Wanna be yours alone. Now I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Da 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 da. Bad. Bad to the bone. Yeah, that's great. So if you go to this DVD, all the songs have their little titles. There's a list of all the songs on there. All the top ones have only one chord, so as you learn each chord, you can try all those songs. And when we learn more than one, we can play 2-chord songs. So speaking of that, we're going to learn another chord right now. It's called the C chord. And in our G scale, the note 4 is a C. That's the note C. And you can play an easy C chord with just that finger and only 3 strings.
So you wind up with 1, 4, and 6. Right? 1, 4, and
Right, well we didn't label 6. So if you want to do a 2-finger 3 chord and on your D string fret 2, you would add your middle finger. Then you can play 4 strings. And Natch had an idea of how to get your hand comfortable doing these. He said, since this one's on the 1st fret, put it right on the bar, even though that's not where we're going to ultimately play it, and put this one right on the bar, and so you can feel that distance, and then slide them back just a hair,
6.
so they're off the bar. But that'll help align your fingers, especially when we start adding more fingers, and you have to figure out where they fit with each other. You pull it back just a hair, and then try to relax your hand. You don't have to press really hard.
No?
But you can pluck one string at a time and make sure you're getting a sound. If you're not, you might be leaning on that string with another finger.
The problem is that it's so awkward when you put your hand in a certain position. The first thing you have to do, like yoga, is learn to relax. Because if you start adding more stress, you're just going to hurt something.
Okay.
So
yes,
the
when
idea
you're-
is just
you'll be
get
on
your
your
hand in
D
the right
string, where the
position.
number 4 is.
Move it slightly back,
And this one
relax,
should
and
be
then
on
just
the D
gently
string along
push.
with no numbers.
You only need enough energy to pull the
That's it.
string down to that metal bar. Once that string hits that metal bar, it's going to do it right.
Yeah, that's why we
So if you
pulled
push
this
any
behind
harder, it isn't
so
going to
that
do any more.
the bar is doing the work for
So
us.
all you need enough pressure to bring the string down to the metal bar, and that doesn't take very much force. So it's a lot less force than people think.
Okay, and Matt is showing us the full C chord.
Yeah,
I want to
full
play
C.
all 6 strings. I got to use this finger too. And that goes
she
in the
almost
3rd
has
fret
it,
on the
right.
next string. Yeah, with your hand.
Exactly.
Then you can play all 6. And this would be on the A string, the 3rd fret. Yeah. I see you're having a little bit of a stretch there. So you know what would be your homework for the week? This is a really good thing, is keep your guitar lying around, and say you're watching TV, every time there's a commercial, pick up the guitar and kind of grab that
Mm-hmm.
shape. And actually, it's just, you see how my hand is grabbing like this? It's almost this shape. So just grab it and then align your fingers. And don't even have to play the chord, just, you know.
Just
get
grab it.
Right, like when I'm doing it
Grab
this
it.
way, I can see what I'm doing, but I'm not trying to do this.
And
Because
then
your hand can't
Put
do
it
that.
back down.
Right, to have it in a comfortable position, so your hand gets used to grabbing that shape, and then it'll be easier when you hold the guitar horizontal.
Then you have to let go and grab it again, or your hand
Right,
won't
so you're just
remember.
training some muscle memory there. So, C songs. I didn't copy those, but they don't have any riffs on them, so we're just gonna play them with the DVD. The C songs on this DVD are
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin, Chain of Fools, the Coconut Song,
Coconut song, right? The Apes with Mabu
which
High
is
Chorus.
Nelson, the lime and the coconut.
Yeah, that was on from Ernie Kovacs. I don't know if you remember Ernie. You probably remember Ernie Kovacs. You don't remember Ernie Kovacs? I thought you would.
I only saw it in reruns on
He
the history of
practically invented
TV.
TV. He practically
He was
invented
before
it.
Johnny Carson, kind of that type of a host, but he did everything. He did
He was
jokes
married
and-
to the woman that
And,
used to do the Muriel cigar commercials.
I don't remember.
The minute you walked in the door, I could tell you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, blonde girl.
Sweet Charity.
Yeah, she also, I think she was in the Sweet Charity. Can't remember her name. Edie Arden. Eve Arden.
Arden.
Eve Arden was her name.
So, if you forget how to play the C chord when you go home, you have this page in the back. This is all the chords. And you imagine that this is the nut of the guitar, this piece right here. And it will go like this. So that's your high E or low E. You hold it sideways. And if not, it's still your low E and your high E. And if there is an X, it means you don't play that string. You strum that one. Now for the easy C, if you're not going to play this red dot here, then you only strum these four.
Oh.
And if you add that, you can play all 5 or 6. There's no X's up here. And the red dot is to tell me which note is C. So if you play that one bass note and then play the chord. Yeah, can you guys listen for a second? Matt's playing just the note C, the bass one that's in the red dot here, and then the whole chord. So that's the root of the C chord.
So you
If I was
hit
a bass
first the
player, I'd
C
hit
and
that
then
C
strum. So it's
a
boom,
lot when I
ching,
was on the C
ching,
chord.
ching, boom, ching, ching, ching. That's it. Boom, ching.
Yeah, we often use that bass note to
Boom.
break the chord up into a bass note and a chord.
So then with the bass note, you just play the.
Just plug that one string.
Play that one string
and
by
then you would strum
itself,
the rest to
and then
find
strum the
chords.
chord afterwards. Yes.
So you boom, ching, 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 boom. Bass, chord, bass.
It's so hard to remember where the fingers go.
Uh-huh.
It is. Yeah.
In general, you try to follow that rule of first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret. But when you get to some chords, you're going to have to mash 2 fingers in 1 fret, which I get from my southern friends.
There's some chords I call the arthritis chords, like F. After the
Arthritis
arthritis, just holding it.
Just
Yes.
thinking about it gives me arthritis.
It does. It's a really tough chord. I don't know why.
Yeah, and that chord is tough for everyone to learn. I was playing guitar for a year before I could play the F chord, and now I can do it. But there are still things that my hand can't do on the guitar, like electric guitar players use bar chords, where they're barring the entire thing and then using fingers over here, and that works better with large hands. So there's always a way you can play less strings if the official version is too hard. And usually you would try to find what is the minimum I'd have to play for these high strings. And
Those
then
3
leave the
high
lower
strings,
notes
right.
off. And that'll be what your ear is used to hearing. So right now I want you to grab your C chord and you can either strum it or do boom, ching, ching, ching. Chain of Fools is in 4. And this is a live recording from the 60s.
Aretha was
Hey, it's
young.
Aretha Franklin when she's skinny, man. She could really sing back then. She blows it out.
Except I forgot to turn the sound on.
Sound out.
And I think that we mentioned briefly about downstrumming and upstrumming. Usually if you're just going strum, 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 you're always going down. But there is something called, either called a backbeat or an upbeat, which you get a lot in pop. And somebody called the Beatles a king of upbeat.
Never heard of it.
But basically, instead of going one, in fact, they do both in one song. They start the song 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they go chick, 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 chick. Upbeat. That's why I'm stressing the upstroke and the offbeat. They call it. So you get a whole different sound and feel from being just you're strumming the other direction. And then sometimes you combine them like going down and up. It's usually the downbeat's always on the counted beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3.
Probably recognize that as reggae. They always play on the offbeat reggae.
I'm not quite as made of that stuff.
What's the other word? Reggae? Ska. is the other one. Reggae
Yeah.
and ska.
What was our other sea song? Oh, Wine in the Coconut.
Lime in the coconut. Now this
So-
one's got a
Yeah, this, you know how we said
doing an alternate bass.
you could go to low 5 before when you were on when we were playing the note G and going to low 5? This song does that, but it does it on the C chord. The thing is, our C is up here on this string, so if I want to go to low 5,
Move your thumb
I
over.
move the whole
your
finger
ring
over
finger.
that. Line in the coconut, you drink it
And you could
all
do just
up.
that.
You could do this for the whole song, it would be the bass. So that's a C and a low 5. Ring finger at fret 3 of A string, and then alternate it with the fret
Yeah.
of that string.
I actually like that because it gives me something to do. You know, you're just sitting there holding, your hand gets stiff. You've got something to do.
Now, a fancy guitar player will be able to hold up this bass line and play chord notes and
At the
do
same
a
time.
few melody note riffs here and there, but
You go boom,
that's
chick,
really fancy.
boom, chick, boom, chick,
But
boom,
I
chick.
could go strum that C strum and then alternate bass strum. And you're not gonna be able to do this fast right away because he goes really fast on the song. Do you understand what we're doing? These
I
fingers
thought I
are never
did.
gonna move. It's just this one.
But this is from C, right?
That's
I
the
like
C.
Okay.
And if I move it over to this string, that would be the low 5 note for the C chord. That'd be the note the bass goes back and forth between C and that low note.
In other words, just that ring finger.
This
So
one?
you hit that one first,
Here.
then strum.
In fact,
Oh, then,
if you don't want to move your finger,
that,
if you can
now
get
strum.
both these fingers to
Now move
stay
that
there,
finger over,
then you
hit
don't
that,
have to
now
do
strum.
with it
instead
here.
of your
Yeah.
plucking.
So
Oh.
you pick, strum, then move it, strum, move it, move it.
Are you able
You
to
got
do
it.
it, Matt? Looks like it. And see if you were able to park both fingers, then you don't
Right.
have to do that. But I kind of like the jumping back
Now
and
it's
forth.
easier if you use your
myself.
thumb and your index finger, so you go
Are you able to
boom,
do it?
chink.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your thumb is always playing the bass
You know,
note,
if this
and then
finger
your,
is really
your
weak,
index
you
finger
can put
just
them both
brushing
there
across the
and
strings.
use double strength. Just try and fit both in the fret.
Right, and you don't have to brush all
Make
of
them
the
work
strings,
together.
you can just brush the strings up here.
Oh, just these?
Yeah,
Because
so your
it-
thumb hits
you're-
that,
You only hear whatever is the
Oh.
furthest up the
and
string,
then hit
so
that note.
just make sure whichever is
Just the
the
bottom.
highest towards here is inside the fret area.
You're still trying to do too much, too many strings, but that's okay.
Oh, even when it's up here, you play the bottom 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the bottom 3 strings.
Oh, no,
That's all you ever need is the bottom 3 strings. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So I wouldn't try to do the bass with the C chord, play the C chord for part of the song, and then
Right.
when your hand gets tired,
Now you do your
switch
alternate
and
bass.
just do one note. Do this with one note. So let-
It's all right,
one
you'll
note
get it.
with me.
There's actually lots of different ways of strumming with just the 2
Yeah, that's
fingers.
real easy. And then anytime, you can jump in with the C chord again. It's a kind of a long song.
It's a pretty advanced technique, but just try
That's not it. It won't let me go back. Okay, here it comes. kept using was flick with this finger, which is another. Is it called a flick, Natch? Or a brush?
Brush.
So these ended up sounding really nice. And hear how I'm getting that choppy sound? The way you do that is after I hit this thing, I'm muting it with this hand. So if you look at my hand. It took me a couple of years to figure out that that's how they were getting some of these cool sounds on
Takes a while, yeah.
by stopping the strings, how they're playing them. It's called beauty.
There you go. Now you sound like a Freudian ape.
Yeah, you don't have to press hard to mute the strings, just barely touch them and it will mute them. It gives you some nice separation in between.
Put the lime in the coconut and drink them both down. And put the lime in the coconut and drink them both together.
Where's the
Put
index
the lime
finger?
in the coconut.
I should use a nail. I guess that sounds like a pick.
Oh, that's much easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do have picks here you can try. And we have one more C song, so I'll pass around the picks if anyone wants to try one. It would have been good for that bass line, but. If I know where all the picks are, yeah, I can. And it's really upstairs. Okay. She has a pick, so. I like the feel of the strings. You're trying that other thing with it, yeah? That's not that easy. Usually what happens when you have a pick is halfway through the song, it falls into the hole, and you spend the rest of the pick
Shake it
like
out.
this.
Yeah.
Or, and even you see performers on stage, you know, they use the pick for part of the song, and the other part of the song, it's in their mouth, or hopefully, they stuck it on the guitar somehow, but they always have like 5 spares because they keep losing them. Basically, the pick is going to give you volume, and if you're playing a melody like, gives you a little more definition on the notes. So the last,
Do you think it's better to learn without the pick and then to introduce it after you have some facility, or is
it's
You know,
totally up to you. I don't think there's a better or worse.
some people only learn the pick,
yeah?
and some people only learn finger picking. It's rare to find someone that does both.
Does a little of all.
Does a little
Yeah,
of
and then we
both.
know all these Greek musicians who played like the, you see the little thing hanging behind you? That's a baby of the instrument they play, which has a body about this big. It's called a bouzouki. And has a really
Bouzouki,
long
and
neck.
that's a
And they use
baklava.
all this. They use a pick, but they do double picking, so they're going down, 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 which is also
So
what they do on the
everything's-
mandolin. They are the most fantastic pickers I've ever seen.
And like, is that similar to a sitar?
No, it's closer
No,
to a mandolin or a.
It looks like
or
a big mandolin, except instead of having a flat back, it's a big round
Yeah.
gourd.
Oh.
They take a huge gourd and cut it in half, put a piece of plank over the
guitar
top
with
of
a
it.
gourd on it. Basically, it has 4 doubled strings like a mandolin. So 2 E's, 2 A's, whatever they're tuned to. And our last song is "Tomorrow Never Knows" by the Beatles, which I think is from Yellow Submarine. It's not on the regular albums.
They don't have a picture of one.
And it's got all this ambient sound in the background. But believe it or not, you are playing the right chord if you're playing the C chord. So we'll try that. And then
Yeah, the
if
Beatles.
you go or have
actually-
questions after that.
The Beatles the 5th Beatle was great at adding all this extra stuff into the track and kind of dirtying it up to a point where it became very classic. And then we'll go back.
Back to C. Little lamb, Mary had a little lamb. Then we change. Its face was white as snow. So the hardest thing besides learning chords in guitar is learning to change chords. So I would practice that this week. Practice holding your chords. Just pick up your guitar and grab that chord and hold it. And then practice changing between C and G.
And G is,
The high number 1 now on your scale. Right?
and then we just play that string.
Just those 4 strings. Now in your folder there's a map with the full G chord, if you have it in front of you. This is it. So that's the note you are playing. And then if you, and the same fret at the middle string, around your low E string. That's kind of a big stretch, and then the index goes right there. Just slow down as you go. One chain. all the songs on that page, even though we said Brother John was a one-chord song, you could still go, ding, ding, dong at the end. It goes C, G, C. So this will work if you play the C chord for those songs and then switch to G. And what's the other one? You wrote, life is but a dream. 1, 5, 1. As far as chords go, is a very common ending for almost every song ever written. So that's about all I have for now. Do you have any questions or?
I have something I'd like to try.
Yeah.
That Ode to Joy that I just gave you,
Oh, yeah.
pull it out, and you got two of the chords, the C and the G. Now the melody is in a different key than what you have on your thing, so I'll play the melody. But I'll just get you guys to strum back and forth between the C and the G chord.
Yeah.
And there's a D chord in there, we won't worry about it, but if
Just
you want
skip it.
to, just that third string is D.
Oh, yeah.
So you could just hit that string.
When it says D.
So when it
He's
says
talking
D, just
about
hit that
these
string.
Boxes here, so this would be C chord. And G chord. And C chord. And G. So you're going to be playing each one of them for about 4 melody notes. Now should I show you how the chords would
Okay,
go for,
and I'll do
for a
it.
little bit, and then we'll try it together.
Ready?
So 1, 2, ready, go. G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, C. That goes even faster. Then D and G. So normally it's 4. But then at the second part of the
And I'm out
song,
of
where they're
tune.
closer together, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You're changing every 2 beats.
And if you're doing C and you're holding all the way up here, you're still only playing the bottom 4?
No, if you have all 3 fingers, you can play all 6 strings.
Okay.
And same with the G chord, if you do all 3 fingers, you can play all 6 strings. Only the easy chord, you play less strings.
And G is here? Or
Um,
1 down?
well, remember, these are both E strings, so they're both going to basically play the 3rd fret on each of them.
There we are.
So they're both, this makes them both into the note G, which fits in the G chord. And then this is on your A string, 2nd fret.
Sorry. Oh, eat and drink.
Yeah, eat and drink great big eggs. So the first and last are both in E. Oftentimes they will copy each other.
Okay.
So for Charles, for really fast changing, I would play just 8 strings and just 1 finger here. That's how you can change really fast. So your regular G you have to taught, but then for C, just put your index finger right there on the number 4 and play the 3 strings. And then go back to the G, which is where high 1 is. Yeah, you'll be able to change fast and keep up with the song. So are we gonna try it? Everybody have some music up? And Natch will play the melody. Okay, ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Wait a second. Why don't you do the one rapidly. You can add more fingers later. And I only play 3 strings.
And then the G is just the one then.
G's, yeah. Now your minor octaves. That's a lot easier, right? Okay, let's try it one more time from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, go.
Hey, you all made it.
Hey.
You didn't get lost. So when you learn your D chord later, which is just, you'll be able to add that in, so you go. The other thing
We're
is,
getting a lot of double duty out of this song here. Melodies and chords.
now, if you were to play this, the C is the 1 chord, the G is the 5 chord. If we were to play this in the key that you have on your strings, right, G would be the 1 chord. So what would be your 5 chord for G? Somebody figure it out. 5-letter
Starting
names.
from G,
G,
and in
A,
music you go back to A after
A.
G, because there's only 7 letters.
right, G,
A,
B,
B,
C,
C.
Indeed.
D. So D now. So if you want to play it, then I'm going to start with the G chord. Da, 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 and then I'm going to go to the D7. One chord, G, D7, your 5 chord, G.
Why don't we try that? You guys can stay one more minute. We'll try playing our melody numbers again, and Nat will play the chords.
Yeah, I'll play the chords.
This is 2 pages long, and you have a
And my D, C, D is a 2 chord, so for G, A would be my 2 chord.
Are we taking it from the top?
Yeah, you play.
Yeah.
And
I
so
don't
you
think we've even tried the second page, so we'll see how that goes.
if you get that far, we'll be happy campers. Okay.
So these are using your sticker numbers. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, a nice length of a song to practice.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot prettier than Mary Had a Little Lamb, even though that's a great song too.
G, D7, and A would give you 3 chords, and C actually if you have the 4th chord, and with those 4 chords you can play almost any song. Almost anything. There's hundreds of thousands of songs that can be played with just those 4 chords. And that's what we're going to be focusing in on more and more, playing in the key of G and just learning. Gene Autry wrote a book on music composition, believe it or not, and I looked around for that book for over 30 years before I found it. And I found I was very lucky to find a very rare copy of it, and we got it. And when we sat down to look at it, we were shocked, because he said all you need is 5 chords. 5 chords and you can play anything, absolutely anything. And then what you have to do is you're going to learn a new key, you would learn 5 chords in that key. And if you go to a new key, you'd learn 5 chords in that key. So each key has 5 chords that if you learn, you can play any song you've ever heard. So you just decide in the beginning what key you want to learn to play in, which is very common, and just work one key until you got it. Then when you go from key to key, you just learn your 5 new chords and just go on from there. There are 4 basic keys that the guitar player has to learn to play. So 4 times 5 is 20. Now it turns out of those 20 chords, more than half of them are used in the other keys.
Right.
So there's really only about 10 chords. And once you learn those 10 basic chords, you can play in all 4 keys. You can play any song there is, no matter how modern or how old it is. So that is, and then you use that guy, and you can play literally.
I can put this anywhere on the neck and then say I want to play in G is too low, but it's the only key I know. So I put this somewhere and then I pretend that's the nut and I would play G up here.
Another weird thing
I play the same chords that I already know
Very
and I'm in a new key.
Another very strange thing we learned about music just recently is traditionally, at the turn of the century in small towns, all they had was a player piano that you could put a nickel in and it would play a tune for you out in front of the general store. And people would go from all over the place, put a nickel in there and sit down and try to follow the keys as they went up and down and learned to play. Except black people were not allowed to do that. It was illegal and it was hanging offense if they played the white keys. So what happens is black people traditionally played the black keys. Most of the songs are all done in white keys. So black people played the black keys. And all of the spirituals and all of the songs that you know, that you heard them play, all come from the black keys. That's it. Play all these songs on the black keys. Precious Lord, The Sinner Please, Don't Let the Harvest Pass, etc., etc. So black people traditionally played in keys that were on the black keys, which are keys like A flat, E flat, B flat, weird keys that guitar players never learned to play. So white people were not actually able to play with black people. Now you won't believe when this changed. Just take a guess at when it changed. Take a wild guess.
The early 60s.
Believe it or not, in the 70s. Not only was it not happening in the 60s, but it wasn't until about 1970, 1971. So if you look at the old black and white version, for instance, of Bo Diddley, he's playing in keys, he'll play in things like E flat and B flat. You watch Mama Thornton singing Hound Dog, and it's in E flat. You go watch these old harmonica players play, they're playing in D flat and A flat, in keys we don't play on the guitar. So how did they do it?
E and A.
Well, the guitar players that were black put a capo either on the 1st fret or the 3rd fret, moving it from the white keys to the black keys. That tradition stayed until 1970. After 1971, you'll see the same black groups playing on the white keys. After Martin Luther King, it got accepted. And since they were popularizing their tunes and their stuff became more popular in the blues than anybody else, they moved it into keys like A, D, G, and E, which are easy to play on the guitar. And so again, you can see Bo Diddley play the same piece in the key of E later on, so all the people can play along. And if you look at the concert, you'll see the concert was until 1971. So
Wow.
this lasted from 1900, or actually about 1880s, sorry, from about 1880s all the way until 1971. That's how backwards the world has been for such a long time. So when you go to YouTube and you see a lot of performances in the 50s and 60s of black groups, you probably won't be able to play with it unless you put a capo on the guitar, moving it up a half a
Right.
step. Then you'll find all these things start locking in.
Now, incidentally, the white key scale is the one we have the numbers for. The black key scale is what the guitar dots are.
The dots are actually the blues.
So if you just play your open string and then play like,
Right.
those are the blues scales. We're gonna look at those next week.
Sinner, please, don't let this harvest pass. Sinner, please.
Yeah, the only one that isn't in it is, well, you had that
Is this a natch fact or
The
a
last one
a
is.
nugget of information?
I didn't even discover this myself until just recently because I was taking all these kids and they wanted to play all blues tunes, right? And we couldn't get in tune. And I suddenly realized that everywhere I went on YouTube, the black people before 1971 were playing on the black keys.
Wow.
So as soon as I figured that out, we started capoing,
Wow.
and all of a sudden the kids were playing along. And they want to play with Mama Thornton. They don't care that Elvis Presley sang Hound Dog in C.
Right?
They want to play it in E flat.
With the
Or
McCoy.
Mama, because the harmonica players that are playing with her are just so freaking groovy, you know, you want to get in there and play with the people who are really cooking and having fun, authentic. Right.
He's the talker.
So it's kind of interesting.
He knows all the good stories.
I like gossip.
Plus he tells them better than me.
I like gossip. The first thing I did when I decided to figure out who Beethoven was, I started reading his personal letters so I could figure out who he was complaining about. And then I found out, you know, he had a certain fascination for Mozart and a heavy, strong respect for Mozart. And most people didn't at that time because Mozart died young and was considered a rebel rouser who wore pink hair all the time, and people thought that was a fashion folk art.
He's punk.
He was completely unlike anybody from his generation.
What do you label the DVD for this class? Because I can't seem to find the DVD that you gave me. I just want to see the disc. I want to see what you labeled it.
I do believe it says either
Beginner.
YouTube videos
That's all I need to see.
or it
Or
says
Beginner
beginners group guitar.
All right.
The
Okay.
beginners group guitar is the DVD. The YouTube videos is just files which you
On
can
a
play on
CD.
either a Mac or a IBM,
Oh.
but you have to go click on them.
So you have.
Right.
So this is the only DVD.
Okay, I'll see if I have that.
And you can play this on a DVD player. You can't play the other one on,
Got it.
but you can't play these on a Macintosh. I mean, we're playing them on a
It's a
Macintosh,
nice class size.
but
now, I like it.
sometimes they're not compatible.
So I will speak to you about trying to reschedule next week.
Okay.
You get a
Sounds good.
one-on-one then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure, we'll be glad to do that. And don't forget, this is all going online. Last week's class is already on YouTube,
Oh well.
so if you just type in beginner guitar class, Mr. Natural, it'll pop right up. And
I found an easier way to find it though.
tonight, the whole first half of the class
By
crashed.
Angel Fields. If you search
The
for
first-
Angel Fields, there's only me and a 10-year-old girl.
Yeah, that's true, Angel Fields, there's only 2 of you in the whole country, that makes it easier. So again, this will be online if you want to go online and find it and kind of go
Bye,
along.
man. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you next time.
Any extra help, you know, don't be afraid to ask them.